Hey everyone, I want to talk today about something called the hidden comments. You ever had that? You're basically in some level of communication with somebody through a text or whatever the case may be, and they have that comment. The comment, that comment that kind of like makes you kind of go, huh? The comment that assumes, the comment that it kind of gets you going, did this person just question my character? Is this person trying to drop a little line of control here? Is there some microaggressive attitude going on with what the person just said? And the interesting about what people say compared to what people mean, what they say, there's a fine line of really digging deeper. And you really don't want to live your life in a manner to have to go digging deeper. You just basically, who doesn't want to just live their life, live and let live? You're doing your thing. You know that you're basically not going to hurt anybody. Been keeping records. You have to live with yourself 24/7, and you're a person that has basically done right by other people, and you're well mannered, and you the kind of person takes initiative, and you're the kind of person that's very responsible. And then along comes some person who you give the benefits to be your friendship. You give them access, and then they start dropping these little funny little comments, and you kind of wonder, huh? I don't get where that's supposed. What's that? Where that's supposed to go. And it's the kind of comments that can get you to double back and want to challenge it. And this is a thing that anytime and we call them, and rightly so. I mean, people have come to realize who they are that do these kinds of things. They're called narcissists. Narcissists basically are so about control. They, in their petty little pathetic little world, the world that people have come out and said they kind of have such a built up amount of shame in living inside of them that the level to which they will go to try to be microaggressive is basically just want to dump some of their nonsense onto you, because the very thing that they try to assume about you is what they're guilty of. And I've even heard the narcissist use terms like "you are assuming." When in reality, it's funny because Jesus even said that. He said that you speak from your own resources, and any level type of communication, you're going to have somebody. You're going to have a certain amount of something coming from them, and how you know that something that's coming from them, it's not really what we would call socially acceptable or social etiquette in the rightful sense of the word, is that it will cause you to have a lack of peace. It will put you in the defensive zone, and it will cause you to be offended. Now, there are people who go through their life. I mean, they're looking to be offended by everything, and that's nothing but narcissists too. Is that I think some of the reasoning behind what they do is because they're not a very forgiving lot. They they don't know to let bygones be bygones. They carry grudges. Now, in the term in the dictionary, grudges go as far as ill-willed, right? Now, people in any sense of the word, I mean, as we are living and kind of coexisting with other human species, is that we all we all in so many ways are basically just trying to get on and get along, right? And there are some people, and it's becoming more increasingly so, because of it's becoming, the human race in general. The Bible says that too, that each follows the other person to their own ways. The Bible says all of us like sheep have gone astray. We follow each one and the other to their own ways, and we're consistently being dragged all over the place by other people's influences, right? And it does take a certain amount of strength and a certain kind of people who separate from that. They don't find validation. They don't go looking for it. They basically have so much good going on within them. They don't really have to go looking for something that is so strong inside that no one can tell them differently. No one can tell them, oh, you better question yourself, right? Some of the snidey little comments that you'll hear is, and I mean, people have spoken to them about throwing shade. When someone makes a comment to the effect of, they say something like, we're basically, we all have to do our part, or it'd be good if we all do our part. And it kind of throws you back a little bit because you go, wait a second, what do you mean? There has been enough facts or enough information to assume that I don't do my part. And what does that mean? But do our part? Since when did we become a community of everybody has to do their part? Like, I mean, for instance, if you're renting from someone and that person starts to assume a certain level of action from you, they will they will do a certain kind of controlling within the environment to make you believe that what you're doing is part of the agreement, which you never really agreed to. Now, it's understandable. Part of being a normal human being and a person of social aptitude is that you will do the you know sometimes people, when people go on the avenue trying to question your character, the really assumption is a very stupid thing. It really does. It comes from stupid people, because stupid people don't see clearly enough to really just let things be and just, yeah, maybe they've been disappointed too many times in their life, and so they believe the way they'll nip it in the butt, they'll just basically throw it at that person gets the message before they mess up. Now, what that's called is you're guilty before proven innocent, and that's unfair. These are the kind of stuff that you have to deal with narcissists. Okay. And when the term narcissist, they said they're basically puny, self-entitled little people. They're not big people by any means. They're little people concentrating on little things, making them into big issues, and they have to use insults in a very shady manner to get their message across. They're too cowardly to basically just create a sentence, or an understanding and leave it at that. To be able to throw in a little snidey little comment is really trying to get you to do something that you would have done anyway. And they do that because when it's done, they get a chance to tell themselves is because they set the bar and you went up to it. They get to have a certain level of superiority over you. And this is these kinds of small little antics, and the way to not be affected by it, you have to realize it's coming from a monkey, a chimpanzee, some person who swings from branch to branch, eating their banana along the way, and they're just like, they're not really fully developed. So you call them primates, right? They're kind of like in the lower spectrum of the social ladder. And just to give you a sense of inspiration, when you are growing, and the more you're growing, and taking this into account, do not ever think for a second that people don't notice your aptitude. Don't think they don't notice your shine. They do. And the thing is about some folks, if they can't meet that shine, they will come in some of the most, not as much as not on opportunity. They'll choose a time, and I don't know, it's like they have a sixth sense, whatever. But they'll choose a time when your guard is down and you're kind of like vibing high and you're feeling good. They kind of come in like a snake, and they throw this little comment out of nowhere. And it's really not necessary. I think one of the things that happens with narcissists is that they really get fogged up so much in their life that they really don't know where they're at. And one of the thing too is that we are living in a time in history too that I find more people are turning to smoking marijuana. Now, I'm not going to put that down or anything else, but it does affect your brain. They've proven, they said that anyone that's being given to any level of hyperstimulation from the outside world are basically going to be in a foggy mental state always. And they are going to be more given to paranoia the same way a drug a drug addict is. So I think in some ways that narcissists are addicted to superiority, control. They have to throw the sweetness of the environment off. It gives them an opportunity to pinch themselves, make themselves feel alive. And I'm learning this one the hard way. They said that the way you actually feed them is by your reactions. So this is where you grow and you learn to not react when you understand who is giving out what they're given, and they're giving out shade because they are people of the shadow. So I'll just leave you with this for today, and you have a good day, and do like and subscribe. You listen to a little comment and it throws you off. Guess what? You're right on the number. That's exactly what it's meant to do. But don't let it. Stay on the on because they're the ones that's off. Have a good day.